The Call of the Wild, The Journey of Buck. In the sun-drenched valleys of California, Buck, a powerful and noble St. Bernard-Scotch Collie mix, lived a life of ease and comfort. He was the undisputed king of Judge Miller's estate, where he roamed freely, his thick coat gleaming under the golden sun. Little did Buck know that his life of luxury would soon be stolen from him, thrusting him into a world where only the strongest survived. One fateful night, Buck was betrayed by the trusted servant of Judge Miller, a man who sold him to strangers for a handful of money. Thrust into a cage and dragged away from his home, Buck's journey into the unknown began. He was soon transported north, far from the warm lands of California, into the cold and merciless Yukon, where gold fever had gripped men with madness. As Buck arrived in the frozen wilderness, he encountered the brutal law of the club and fang. His first lesson came at the hands of a cruel man wielding a heavy club. Every time Buck resisted, the club struck him down, teaching him submission. The once proud dog learned that in this harsh land, power belonged to those who enforced it. Through pain and hardship, Buck understood a new way of life, one governed by strength and cunning rather than comfort and kindness. Buck was sold to a team of mail carriers who trained him to pull a sled alongside other dogs. Among them, he met Spitz, a cunning and ruthless leader who ruled with dominance. Spitz viewed Buck as a threat, and the tension between them grew with every passing day. They fought many small battles, but it was in a final, fierce confrontation that Buck triumphed. With a deep, primal instinct awakening inside him, he defeated Spitz in a brutal battle, claiming his place as the leader of the pack. As the new lead dog, Buck proved himself to be a natural leader. He guided the team with intelligence and resilience, earning the respect of both dogs and men, but the brutal demands of the trail took their toll. Eventually, Buck and his team fell into the hands of inexperienced prospectors Hal, Charles, and Mercedes, who, driven by greed and ignorance, pushed the dogs beyond their limits. Weakened by starvation and exhaustion, Buck could go no further. When Hal raised his club to force Buck forward, a stranger intervened. John Thornton, a man with a kind heart and a deep respect for animals, saved Buck from certain death. Under Thornton's care, Buck regained his strength and found a companion unlike any he had known before. A bond of trust and loyalty formed between them. Buck, who had known only cruelty and survival, now knew love. But the call of the wild was growing stronger. The forests whispered to Buck, and his dreams were filled with visions of ancient ancestors running free under the moonlit sky. He felt the pull of something greater than himself, something untamed and primal. Still, his loyalty to Thornton held him back, until tragedy struck. One day, when Buck returned from a hunt, he found the camp destroyed. John Thornton and his men had been killed by a group of hostile Native Americans. Rage and sorrow overwhelmed Buck. With a furious heart, he avenged his fallen master, attacking the invaders with a strength they could not withstand. But when the battle was over, Buck was alone. With nothing left to tie him to the world of men, Buck answered the call of the wild. He followed the wolves into the depths of the forest, becoming one with them. He ran as his ancestors once had, living by tooth and claw, guided by the instincts buried deep in his blood. Over time, legends arose among the Native Americans of a great, ghostly wolf that led the pack, a beast of unmatched strength and spirit. Buck was no longer the pampered pet of Judge Miller's estate. He had become something greater, something timeless, a creature of the wild, forever free.